Okay, I'll use the mic so you guys can hear me. I don't like mics either, but so I'm just going to talk briefly about the Advanced Manufacturing Program that I was asked to speak about. This is a program that is dual credit. It's a technical program, so I know a lot of you are here for academic reasons tonight, but I know that there also may be some of you who are interested in a certificate that's technical, and so it is dual credit. It's advanced manufacturing. The one thing that's different about this program is that you can start it as early as your 10th grade year. You can start it later, so if you're already past that, that's completely okay too. But this is a program that was designed to allow students to start as early as the 10th grade. So, just to kind of give you some real quick background information, this program really came about because there are a large number of manufacturing companies in our area, and I'll go in a second and talk about some statistics, but a lot of those people working in manufacturing are either retirement age or getting close to retirement, so there's a lot of opportunities, and then also obviously there's a lot of growth in manufacturing locally and nationwide. Currently in our area we have about 25 or more manufacturing companies that support the program and that participate and are part of it. So I just put these pictures up here. At the college we just built a new manufacturing building, so we already had a technical building that includes like welding and HVAC and different things like that, but we actually just added on an area that's specifically for advanced manufacturing. And so just to give you statistics, I kind of mentioned already, but there's about 12 million people who work in what we call middle skill jobs. And so by middle skill we mean that you need more than a high school diploma, but you may necessarily not need a 4-year degree or a 6-year degree. And so this is a program that is designed to help students get into a type of job that's a middle skill job. It obviously does not mean that that's where they have to stay, but it means that this gives them some experience and some credentials that allow them to start in that type of position. And so it also, some statistics say that about 50 to 60% of those 12 million people will be ready to retire by 2020. And then also about 47% of the new jobs created are going to be jobs that require technical skills. So the type of skills that we're talking about for this program. So I just kind of put this up here to kind of show you, this is a program, like I said, there's a lot of manufacturing companies in our area. There's a committee that meets monthly and that kind of helps oversee the program. Obviously we teach the program at Grayson College, but there's a lot of input from the community and from different leaders from SEDCO, which is the Sherman Economic, Denison's Economic Development, Workforce participates, and so they actually are willing to pay for your student to take the course or to complete the program for free if they're interested. Denison, Sherman, Pottsboro, and Whitesboro are the high schools who are participating right now. And it's about $4,700 worth of tuition and books that your student would get for free if they start as early as a sophomore. Like I said, they can start later. I know we have a couple who are older than that, and that's completely okay, who started the program. They just won't be able to complete 2 certificates before they graduate. We do offer the classes at the college. We actually offer it as an associate's degree as well. So if your student starts later, let's say they're going to be a junior next year, they can still go ahead and start. They could then, once they graduate, either choose to continue to come on out to the college and finish those classes up after they've graduated from high school. And there are a lot of different options, and there's some funding available to help with that too. So as long as they start while they're in high school, then the committee that funds this would continue to pay for that for your students. So like I said, the tuition's free. The way that it works, because I know a lot of times people are like, how in the world do you start dual credit as a sophomore? They're not even old enough to drive most of the time. But we actually sign agreements with your school. Miss Parker's here, and she's one of the teachers. We actually, the first 2 classes that students take are a technical calculations class and then a blueprint and sketch class. The technical calculations is what we call it at the college. Your students take geometry, and we give them credit for that because they learn the same concepts and the same skills in that class that they would in our technical calculations class. And then the other class that Ms. Parker teaches is what we give credit for, is for a blueprint class. What do you call, is that what it's called here or what?
Yeah, architectural drafting.
Architectural drafting. So your students actually take those 2 classes here at the high school. We sign an agreement with your school that we give them the college credit for them completing that class. So at that point, they're not having to come out to the high school or to the college, and they're taking classes from teachers that they know and classes that are already offered here. Then their 11th grade year and their 12th grade year, obviously they would come out to the college. The classes are in the afternoon like typical dual credit. I know that Paula Cavender will talk in a minute about that, but they are in the afternoon. But those classes, like I said, are technical classes. So they start off with the basic machine shop and then also a precision tools and measurements class. Then in the spring of the 11th grade year, they take a computer aided manufacturing and then also the next machine shop class, which is an intermediate machine shop class. Then their senior year, they take, and actually after their 11th grade year, they would have completed their first certificate in basic manufacturing. So then their 12th grade year, they complete quality assurance and basic electrical, so 2 classes. And then in the 12th grade, they take the basic fluid power and then also PLCs, which is programmable logic controllers. So you can see that those are pretty technical, like hands-on class. So in our building, we've written a lot of grants. We actually received a National Science Foundation grant to help pay for a lot of the equipment that's in our new building that students actually get to work on. So I went down there this afternoon. Denison High School actually has 4 kids who are already coming out to our campus. They're in their 2nd year. And so it's kind of cool because this was the first semester that they've got to use the new equipment. And so they're excited because the last semester they just had to sit and do like a textbook class. So they had smiles today. So that was kind of fun. But so after they graduate, after their 12th grade year, they actually get to do an internship at a local company over the summer. So parents, you can know that your child has a job for the summer. And it would be at a local company. And then they also complete one final class, which is the motor controls class. After that, they would receive their 2nd certificate, which is the advanced manufacturing. Some of the things that they get to do, and Ms. Parker and Ms. Monk can attest to, is that we tried to make it where the kids who are taking those classes here at the high school aren't just stuck in the classroom. We wanted to get them out because we know a lot of times when we say manufacturing, students don't always know. If I said, name me 5 manufacturing companies, they're not always able to do that. I probably wasn't able to do that before I started working on this project. So we try each month or every 6 weeks or so to take those kids to a facility so that they can see what manufacturing is and see some of our local companies. And so they've got to tour several different facilities. Each student's assigned a mentor from industry, and that's just somebody who kind of checks on them, works with them. If they need help, sometimes they don't want to ask their teacher or they won't ask me. But it's somebody that they kind of can relay things to just to kind of serve and be their mentor. So there's kids in the program. There's 42 kids between Sherman, Denison, Whitesboro, and Pottsboro who are at the high school level. And some of those kids have plant managers as their mentors. They're all pretty significant people. Some of them have engineers. Some of them have supervisors. So they all have somebody that I keep telling them, like, don't mess this up, because when you get ready to look for a job and you've had the plant manager of Emerson or Eaton or somewhere like that as your mentor, like that's a pretty good reference. Like I know when I graduated from college and went to job hunt, I didn't have anybody that important that I could say, hey, call them and talk to them. So like I said, they received 2 manufacturing certificates. There's a chance for them to test. Embedded in there, there'll be a national certification that they can complete. And then obviously they're getting a lot of hands-on experience working on machines while they're completing that program. So trying to think what else that I needed to use. Anything that I needed to add as far as the classes or kind of from your perspective? Basically, if you have a student who wants to work on some college credit, but maybe they don't want to take academic type classes, if you have a student who wants to do things with their hands, this is a good opportunity for them to do that. Your child does not have to sign anything that says, I promise when I graduate, I will go to work in a manufacturing company. These companies are just willing to invest money in your student because they are hoping that some of them will stick around. And they know that students who complete this program will have the technical skills that they need. So, and I tell a lot of students, even if you're not thinking that you want to go into manufacturing, but you still like some of the technical, this is still an option to get some credits for free. Like I said, it's about $4,700 worth. And then once you graduate, if you still want to go into a university or go to work for a little bit or whatever, this is still something that you would have to put on your resume. So, any questions about that or how it works? No.
I just want to add something too. We went to Presco last month, I believe, and while we were taking the tour, which was fantastic, by the way, but they also talked about those kids that do have a 4-year degree. And if you had a 4-year degree in art, then there's a place for you in those factories as well. They have graphic design. They have all different kinds of things. Presco has a nurse on staff that takes care of the people and their families, and that's what Presco's invested. So any degree you can think of, there probably is a place for that. So even if your student is one that wants to go through a 4-year college, this is still an opportunity for them to get some background information and a mentor and a lot of opportunities through them, even into the 4-year college kind of thing. So it's not just technical, it's really anything you can think of. So even if you know someone that's not here tonight, that's not thinking the dual credit path, this is absolutely 100% something that any student would be benefited from, and it's really awesome. I wish that I could take everybody on these tours because it's really awesome.
And that's something else I'll throw out real quickly, is a lot of the companies, say your student completes this and they go to work for one of those companies, most of them have like tuition reimbursement or tuition assistance. So if your student goes to work for them, most of them in about 6 months will start to pay for a university. So for a lot of people, sometimes I have students that say, like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for college, and so sometimes this could be a way for those students to be able to go to work and start making money, because I know a lot of times there are students who need to be able to make money once they graduate, and so then they could go on and let a company pay for that for them. And then the other thing I'll throw out there is, like Ms. Monk kind of averted to, but if you are curious or want to know or want to do a tour of a facility, let Ms. Monk know, or Ms. Parker, or I'll leave some cards too. I can arrange that. We've tried to do parent tours, and I know that you guys are super busy. We're working on doing counselor tours. The businesses that we work with have been super eager to get people inside and show them kind of what they're doing, because I know a lot of the time the perception that we think about are things that are old about manufacturing, and so we have a lot of really cool places in our area that I would go work at myself. If I go back to the college tomorrow and they tell me I don't have a job there are places that I would definitely go running to look for in a career. So if you're interested in any form or fashion and want to tour a facility, we can make that happen. So all you have to do is ask, and they would be super glad to do that. So any other questions? No. Okay, thank you guys.